Hello, my name is Jim DeMeo, and this is A Course in Miracles. Today's lesson, number 72, is Holding Grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation. Let me begin first by reiterating what he wrote in the lesson. God's plan for salvation has been completed already. It is not something we're trying to complete. It's not based on something we have to do to make it work. However, we do have the role of accepting it. What good is something if it's not accepted? In the realm of love, in order for us to be loved, we must accept love. So, how do we accept this plan of salvation? Well, by listening. However, listening gets complicated when it comes to the distraction of the ego or fear. We often listen to the wrong voice. We listen to fear instead of to the voice of love. So I want to tell you briefly that at the core of this discernment problem between the voice of fear and the voice of love is the identity of the body. At my earliest stage, I had a deformity from polio. It was infantile paralysis, so I've never known what it is to have a normal-looking right leg. It never was. And it didn't develop normally. Because of this, I saw myself as defective. We live in a culture that indeed identifies ourselves with our body. So this problem for me was acute, so much to the extent that I really wanted to end my body. I was in such violent resistance to it. I made such a big deal out of all the little limitations that came from it, like not being able to run as fast as the other boys, not having balance, walking with a limp, experienced ridicule from other children who were afraid that they might get what I got, so they ridiculed me and tried to stay away from me. All of that was misinterpreted, of course, by me as rejection. So by the time I was 13, I was quite suicidal, and I had a plan worked out. My plan was to jump off the bridge over the Wantaw Parkway into oncoming traffic. It was a rather serious plan, and I rode my bicycle to my mounting place where I could get on the bridge. It was just a little overpass, so it was easy to get over the bridge. And in great anger, I got myself standing on the edge of that overpass. And before I jumped, I just said, "This is all your fault. You made me like a freak, and I don't want it." Full identity with the body. However, maybe because my parents loved me, or my brothers and sisters loved me, not because I even thought of them or worried what they were thinking, but maybe because they just loved me. So there was something else that certainly caused me to listen to the response to my accusation. The response was, "I didn't create your body." And I had never heard that before. The little misunderstanding that I had of Catholic theology was that I was body and soul, and that was what God created. The little understanding I had of the Bible was in the creation story. God created Adam and Eve, the body. So the idea that God did not create the body was totally new for me then. However, the whole will to destroy myself was gone. I got down off of the bridge. I cried. I drove my bicycle home. Never told anyone about it. Some people maybe are just learning about it now, listening to this blog. The fact of the matter is, I began to think in earnest right at that age as to what I was if I wasn't a body. The Course in Miracles has provided the best answer to that what question. We indeed are a thought in the mind of God. The body is indeed something we have made. It came about in the Big Bang. It came about when we thought that there was separation and all the change in energy that occurred with that thought. Thought is most powerful. This is the reason why we're the perfect creation of God, not because the bodies are perfect. I'm here to tell you it's not. But I am. Indeed I am, as indeed you are. As a matter of fact, all fear comes from, as he explains so beautifully in this lesson, from the belief that we're a body. All pain and suffering comes from the belief that we're a body. So as we put that aside, we stop attacking God's plan of salvation, which is we are the one Son of God in the mind of God.